this is an update on the garden. So we're going to look at the garden and we'll have a look at see what's grown and what hasn't. So starting from the bottom, we have the wormery, which we use for collecting our waste, and they eat that and produce lovely compost. We have 2 hanging baskets, which are very nice, and another one which is much easier to look after. So down the garden we have firstly our leeks that were, and we are letting these to seed so we can use the seeds for next year. We have a couple of lettuces, and as you can see the basil hasn't yet materialised as such. Usually this time of the year we've got a lot of basil, but we haven't got very much at all, and we have a few bedding plants just to give a bit of colour to this bed. Okay. Over here we have 2 bags of potatoes. We've decanted 3 and they were okay. They were lovely potatoes. With regards to the beans that we have here, they are dwarf beans and they're starting to flower. The excess lettuces we planted here. Lots of daisy, and as for the mint, well, that's not come to anything this year. Usually it's flourishing, ready to make mint sauce, but not this year, so maybe next year. We have a few leeks over here and some onion chives here. Here we have the new gooseberry bush that we planted, and as you can see the gooseberries are now starting to ripen. Moving over to the greenhouse. Beside the greenhouse we have some lovely red lettuce, and again the basil plants, but they're not flourishing very well this year. In the greenhouse we have an abundance of French beans ready to plant. We're going to plant those next to the leeks. We also have a few carrots that are starting to grow. We have also some chemicals here and some brassicas here. We've got some lovely tomatoes which are gradually coming into play, which will make lovely tomato chutney and will make beautiful salads as well. And we have one down here, we have one cucumber that hasn't actually started to produce any fruit yet, but it may do, so there's always luck. Let's just close this to keep the heat in. It's better. We have some peppers just there. They're gradually starting to grow. They're ordinary sweet peppers. Behind the gate we have some chili peppers, and they're gradually starting to grow with some bedding plants as well. So moving along here, we planted a few radishes in between different places just to see what was going to grow and what wasn't, and the radishes are okay. From this one, I'll pull that one out. You can see the size of them, one there and that one there. So you'll see the size of the radishes. Where are they? Okay. Now, where are the radishes? Let's have a look if we can find the end of the radish. There we go. As you can tell, I am not only a total novice at using a camera, so there's always. What's that gone there? Where have I put the damn thing? Right, there we go. It's not there, is it? So I'll stand up a bit. Maybe that's better. Ah, there they are. See, they're the 2 radishes I've just pulled out. Sorry about that. Moving on, we've got lots of different flowers in the garden, various colours to give it a bit of brightness, make it more cheerful. And moving up the garden, you can see even more flowers and trees. On the shed, we have 2 hanging baskets of tumbling tomatoes, or maybe 3 hanging baskets of tumbling tomatoes, and they're looking okay. They're gradually starting to flower and hopefully will produce some nice fruits. Moving from there, we have the shepherd's hut with its original chassis. It's over 100 years old, I believe. And moving through the garden, we've got some clematis climbing up there. In the first bed we have lettuces, which are green and yellow, and also some romaine lettuces. These are my favourite. Next to those we have the parsnips, which are growing okay. In the first brassica bed we have kale. Let's go into here. So we have 2 lots of kale, one this side and one the other. That's doing very well, as are the French beans and the cabbages. The cauliflower are just starting to head up, which are in there somewhere. And let's see that. Let's see if we can't see that. No, it's just underneath there. Alright. But in there is a small, tiny head of cauliflower. These are 3 tumbling tomatoes. They look a little bit droopy, but they appear to be really quite wet. So I don't think they need watering. And then this side again we have the cabbages, French beans, and also kale. So moving from that one, we have the garden. For some reason this year hasn't taken on as it should have done, as it did last year, but winter is nature and not much you can do about that. In this bed we have some lovely Monge 2, which I will pick later on, and because there are quite a few there, and we'll start to freeze those. I don't really want to get into this bed because it's quite difficult to do so. Into our second brassica cage we did have some swede, which we've taken out and utilised those. We've got some French beans here, and there's not much left. We did also have some spinach, but that's went to seed. So, and then the strawberries. The strawberries have given us a lot of fruit this year, apart from the tumbling one, which didn't prevail. So moving on down this side, we also have some more French beans. They're coming into flower, as you can see, and hopefully we'll produce some lovely beans later on. All of the garden produce is fresh, so it always tastes far superior than what you can buy at the supermarket. We then have the runner bean bed, and the runner bean bed is now starting to flower. It's a lot later this year than it was last. Within this bed we also have some dwarf beans, dwarf runner beans, and they are starting to flower. So hopefully we'll have some nice runner beans ready for the freezer and to make chutneys. At the end of it we've got a little wind chime. This bed here is mostly for just odd sort of bits and pieces that we've had excess of. So we've had excess of brassicas, we've had excess of carrots, some Monge 2, and if they grow, they grow. If they don't, they don't. Here are the moly radishes, which we planted, and also the beetroot. As you can see, the beetroot have leaf miner on their leaves. We have sprayed this for neem oil and it has reduced it quite a bit. So there, the little beetroot. The beetroot are actually white beetroot and not red. That's an old fire pit. We also have the beds of the potatoes, which are flourishing nicely. We have another bed of carrots. This is the main carrot bed, which we have planted half of it, and they are coming along very well. From here we have the potatoes, another potato bed, so plenty of potatoes to do various things with. With our potatoes we tend to store them in brown bags, and anything that is a little bit wonky or otherwise we make them into roast potatoes for the freezer or French fries. Here we have the shallots, which are doing fairly well. They will soon be coming out and making some lovely pickled onions. Again, more potatoes. Moving down that way, and on this side are the squashes. The squashes are various ones. They are potato squash, butternut squash, and spaghetti squash. These won't produce anything until later on, as they are winter squashes. We also have some courgettes which are starting to produce fruit. As you can see, they are coming along nicely. We have yellow ones and we have green ones. The majority of these will be eaten fresh. Some will be frozen and some will be dehydrated, ready to add for soups and stews. So I'm going to do a photograph of the garden from top to bottom. So this is what it looks like in the vegetable patch from this area here. So as you can see, we have 3 large brassica cages, a small one, and the rest are just open plants beds. So it's all very, very pleasant. It's beautiful on a summer's day sitting up here and reading a book. Thank you very much for watching.